The life and career of Václav Brožík offer a compelling narrative that art enthusiasts of the late 19th century could scarcely ignore. In this presentation, we will look at a painter that has slipped into obscurity but is rising again. His legacy is not only evident in the masterpieces he left behind, but also in his journey, which exemplifies the undeniable importance of dedication and hard work alongside talent in achieving success in art. Brožík's story of early hardship reads almost like a novel. Born in 1851 in Třemošna, a small village near Pilsen in Bohemia, he was the youngest of 5 children in a humble family. His father, a locksmith employed at Klotz's ironworks, struggled to support his family on a modest income. When Václav was 2 years old, the family moved to Košice, near Prague, where his father found work in Baron Ringhoffer's carriage factory. It was in Košice that young Václav first attended school, marking the beginning of a journey that would ultimately see him rise from humble origins to become one of the distinguished artists of his era. From a young age, Václav Brožík was captivated by nature, finding endless joy in sketching anything that caught his eye. He would eagerly await the end of school, when he could wander the fields around Košice, pencil in hand, drawing scenes of nature or moulding sculptured shapes from clay. This passion did not go unnoticed. Even in his youth, he had already earned a modest reputation as a young artist. His early talents led to small commissions, including work from Herr Kuchera, a respected lithographer in Prague. Remarkably, he even painted a Bacchus for the owner of a popular restaurant at Mlynarska. His talent was nurtured by locals in the community, including a wealthy Prague citizen whose son attended school with Brožík and who recognized the budding artist's extraordinary skill. One day, Václav Brožík was reported missing. He had returned to his beloved orchards, apart from school, absorbed in his art and sketching outdoors. Meanwhile, his patron, Herr Vnuček, had spoken of the young artist's talent to a respected merchant in Prague. So impressed was the merchant by Vnuček's account that he recommended Brožík to his brother Joseph, who was, at the time, the director of the Prague Academy. This introduction would prove to be a turning point in Brožík's life and career. Václav Brožík was admitted to the Prague Academy and began his studies in the elementary class that was mandatory for cast drawing under the guidance of Professor Röhm. Within a year, he advanced to the study of antique forms under Professor Lothar. Yet despite his progress, Brožík found the Academy's approach to be somewhat stifling. The repetitive exercises of drawing from plaster casts clashed with his deep desire to paint in the open air and express his natural gift for colour. Driven by this impulse and encouraged by the support of a wealthy patron, Brožík took a bold step in 1870, seeking new opportunities that would allow his vibrant artistic vision to flourish. Brožík's move to Dresden was a time of hardship and sacrifice. He often struggled to afford even the most modest meals, sometimes surviving on only a piece of bread and a pickled cucumber. To support himself, he took on painstaking work for local picture dealers, copying paintings from the Dresden Gallery. A fair copy of a Rembrandt would earn him just 1 thaler, a small sum for such laborious effort. Feeling his artistic training was lacking in technical depth, Brožík made the bold decision to further his studies at Piloty's renowned School of Art in Munich. Although Piloty welcomed him, there were no openings, forcing Brožík to continue developing his art on his own under challenging conditions. His financial troubles only worsened when a Munich creditor ordered a seizure of his belongings, but the execution was called off when the sheriff's officer found that his possessions weren't valuable enough to cover the costs of the seizure itself. Yet Brožík's fortunes slowly began to shift. During this early phase, he seemed torn between historical and portrait painting. Although his historical works eventually brought him wide acclaim, he would later devote himself almost entirely to portraits and genre scenes. In the autumn of 1875, he spent time at the estate of a wealthy patron, where he completed 3 paintings, including 2 replicas of earlier works and another of Philippina Welser, further refining his artistic focus and setting the stage for the successful career that lay ahead. With the support of a friend, Brožík was finally able to fulfill his dream of moving to Paris. There, despite difficult circumstances, he worked tirelessly, and by 1877 he had completed 2 paintings that he submitted to the Paris Salon. As an unknown foreign artist, however, his works received little notice from the public or the critics, who barely mentioned them. Undeterred, Brožík resolved to make a stronger impression in the following year's Salon. He decided his next piece would be a colossal work, one so grand in scale that it would be impossible to ignore. This decision marked one of the rare times in his career when a strategic choice influenced his art, but under the circumstances it was hardly blameworthy. In 1878, his enormous canvas, titled The Embassy of Władysław, King of Bohemia and Hungary, to the court of Charles VII, King of France, in 1457, to request the hand of his daughter, a title as grand as the painting itself, was displayed at the Paris Salon. Critics and the public alike praised it as the best historical painting in the Salon. The jury awarded it a second-class medal, and soon after the dealer M. Sedlmayr purchased it for 12,000 francs. This success was the well-earned result of Brožík's perseverance, determination, and sheer hard work in the face of hardship. Creating this colossal painting had been a monumental challenge. Without a proper studio, he worked out of an abandoned coach house. Lacking funds for materials, he acquired his canvas and colours on credit, while friends agreed to model for him with the understanding they would be paid once the painting sold. He supported himself by selling smaller works, or pot boilers, which covered his basic expenses in a modest boarding house in the Latin Quarter. For Brožík, every setback only fueled his resolve, and the quiet determination to triumph after his disappointment at the 1877 Salon led him to achieve one of his most memorable successes just a year later. From 1878 onward, Brožík's career unfolded as a series of continuous triumphs. It's perhaps unsurprising that, following his remarkable success with the Embassy and its acquisition by the esteemed art dealer M. Sedlmayr, Brožík's life took on a new stability. This purchase marked the beginning of a long-standing partnership that would offer Brožík both friendship and financial support, ending the turbulent, struggling phase of his life and allowing him to work in a spirit of calm and freedom from material worries. In the same year, his Salon painting gained further recognition when it was exhibited at the Brussels exhibition, where the Belgian preference for historical subjects led to Brožík's being awarded the Gold Medal of Honor. The following year, he garnered the first medal at the Berlin exhibition with the same work. Meanwhile, Brožík continued to produce an impressive range of paintings, including a night scene from the third act of Ballo in Masquera, celebrated for its striking colour under artificial light, a portrait of an American banker in Paris, and a large historical piece of a more pastoral tone, portraying the picture Wooing of Dagmara by Strange for King Waldemar. At only 28, Brožík was already celebrated for his historical works, though he was still exploring the possibilities of portraiture, genre scenes, and historical painting, each medium offering him a different avenue for his burgeoning talent and creativity. After 1883, Václav Brožík largely shifted his focus away from historical painting. Yet before making this transition, he produced one last masterpiece in the realm of historical art, John Huss before the Council at Constance. This powerful painting captures the intense moment inside the majestic Cathedral of Constance as the Bishop of Concordia reads the sentence condemning John Huss to be burned at the stake. In this work, Brožík displayed a remarkable command over the historical genre, skillfully overcoming earlier challenges in composition and storytelling. This piece marked the culmination of his achievements in historical painting, before he accepted a commission from the Emperor of Austria, and from that point onward, he dedicated himself almost entirely to portraiture, genre scenes, and landscapes. Brožík's dedication to his craft did not go unrecognized. By the age of 43, the locksmith's son had earned the title of Officer of the Legion of Honour, held knighthoods in multiple foreign orders, and amassed numerous medals of honour. These accolades reflect not only his artistic talent, but also the unwavering, almost heroic effort he invested in every work he created, a legacy of perseverance and mastery that defined his remarkable career. And in 2003 his work would once again be seen and admired by his country in an exhibition that would honour him as the great painter he was. Lastly, we hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the industrious work of Václav Brožík. His legacy endures, and the remarkable talents of the past continue to be rediscovered today, bringing to light the extraordinary achievements of painters and sculptors. We are all renewed by the re-examination of their efforts. We also want to thank our subscribers and those that have made a donation by way of PayPal or Super Thanks. It's much appreciated, and there is a link below for any amount. So lastly, we look forward to bringing many more artists of the highest standards in future presentations, or as we like to think of it, as a visual library. With that, it's bye for now.